All right, NBA Australia here with our Week 16 power rankings. That's right, we're more than halfway through the season. Everybody's about to get traded. It's pointless doing these because who knows who is going to be where as of like tomorrow. But we're going to do it anyway. Let's go. Utter butt. The absolute butt tier. That is the Utah Jazz. It's a soft J. They're horrible. Even with their dudes, they stink. Brooklyn, they just did a Reggie Miller and beat the Houston Rockets at the buzzer, and everyone's like, what are you doing, you idiots? You're meant to be tanking. And D'Lo's like, bro, check out the veins. It's like, you're an idiot. You're just costing us even more tanking. God, anyway, Washington, they snapped a 16-game losing streak, and everyone's like, good on you idiots. And then Charlotte, they lose LaMelo Ball, and they're like, just burn your eyes out horrible. The bad, but they also sucked here. This is the Philadelphia 76ers. This might feel a bit unfair. It's more that I just hate watching them, right? It's like, we got Joel Embiid back. It's like, yeah. Have you ever seen a 7'2" giant flop like he's a bloody under 14 East Keilor player? Yes, because you watch the Sixers. He came back as a triple-double, and they still stink, and I hate them. The Pelicans, they're bad, and they also suck. Even with the big rig Zion, it's like, yeah, this team, like DeJounte Murray is just like, my Achilles is torn. Everyone's like, we didn't see anything. He's like, nah, I just don't want to play for you guys. They're horrible. The Raptors, they had a really, really nice run where they were kind of bad but fun, and then they just got their heads kicked in by the Knicks today, and you're like, yeah, no, you still suck. And the Bulls, they're like every so often you're like, that's fun. Josh Giddey went off and they beat the Heat today. And then you watch them any other game and you're like, this team sucks. And they just gave away Zach LaVine for a bag of peanuts. And most of the peanuts had like poo in them. Like it was horrible. What an absolute outrage. The bad but fun tier, this is the Portland Trailblazers, AKA my favorite current team in the NBA. I love them. Shaedon Sharpe, Anthony Penny Simons. You got Time Lord on that team, dominating. They're fun. They keep winning. They're rad. I love them. But they are still pretty bad. You know what I'm saying? The Kings, they're bad, but they are kind of fun. The problem is, I've got a feeling they're going to go into the bad, but they also sucked here very, very soon because they're like, hey, how can we recreate a shit Chicago Bulls team? They're like, we'll pair up DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine. And they're like, that's awesome. Let's do that. No, it's not, you idiots. That team sucked. What are you doing? But they are still fun for the moment. The Spurs, look, they get De'Aaron Fox. That's very, very fun to go with Wembanyama. They are still kind of bad, though. Once Fox gets there, maybe that changes. And the Hawks, they've just got like no dudes left, but they are still kind of fun because they've got the Great Barrier Thief swiping everything like he's, Swiper the Fox? Yeah, but that's De'Aaron Fox, but either way. Still, Hawks, bad but fun. The meh tier, they're just kind of meh. The Warriors, it's like, Steph Curry, hooray. And then everything else, you're like, This is bad. What are you doing? The Minnesota Timberwolves, every so often they'll be good, and then they'll just be like, have you guys ever played basketball before? Like together, maybe, but just in general, because you're horrible. Either way, they're kind of meh at the moment. Hopefully they jump back up into the kind of rad tier. The Orlando Magic, they've lost 9 of their last 10. Did you know that? They're horrible. Thing is, they lost Jalen Suggs. They get Balabancaro and they get your man Franz Wagner back as well. And they can't put it together on this road trip and they can't win. It's weird. The Miami Heat, they're just meh. Jimmy Butler is the most interesting story out there and he hates them. He's like, I hate working here so much, I will work anywhere else. And maybe not Golden State. Maybe not Memphis. And it's like, Jimmy Butler, do you want to work anywhere? He's like, only Phoenix. And you're like, you're an idiot. Anyway, and then finally, speaking of which, Phoenix. They're just like, meh. How can you be meh and have Kevin Durant and Devin Booker? I mean, they've got Kevin Durant for now. I'm just saying, like, he might end up on the Warriors tomorrow. That's going to be funny. This is a really specific tier. Don't have Luka Doncic tier. That's everybody else, but also mainly the Dallas Mavericks. This could also be the run by an absolute flaming moron tier who got talked out of a trade, talked out of getting more for one of the 3 best players in the NBA tier. It's a very long name for that tier. I couldn't quite fit it in there, but Nico Harrison, you're a big dummy tier. That all works. Hey, Dallas, you better win the title this year or we're all clowning you for the rest of eternity. And then the next tier, again, another very specific one, isn't it? The have Luka Doncic tier. How do they keep getting away with this? It makes no bloody sense. It's the Los Angeles Lakers. Wilt Chamberlain. Bloody Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Magic Johnson. They get James Worthy as the number one pick in a stupid trade made by another team. They get Kobe, Shaq, Dwight Howard, LeBron James. Like, now they've got Luka. Why? I'll tell you why. Adam Silver's like, I don't like these sagging ratings. I need you to trade Luka to the Lakers. And off we go. The Lakers, yes, they are the team that are on the tier that have Luka Doncic, and I've never been angrier. But Jim, you don't even go for a team. I go for the Seattle Supersonics. Hated rivals of the Lakers when they existed. Anyway, the kind of rad tier. Look, Detroit, they're not winning as many games as you might think of a team that's in the kind of rad tier. But they're still kind of rad. And I want you in on the ground floor with me. This Detroit team is awesome. Cade Cunningham is an all-star. He's unreal. Jalen Duren, I love him. Tobias Harris is my favorite punching bag. Tim Hardaway, the lesser, is just very funny. Malik Beasley apparently has turned back into a sniper. It's awesome. They aren't that great, but they're like in the top 6 in the East. That's awesome. And then there is the actual kind of rad bit of the Indiana Pacers. They've won like 8 of their last 10. They've completely turned it around. They've got some of their dudes. They've got like, Andy Nemhard out there winning like bloody Defensive Player of the Month or whatever the new fake award is. How is that just not Dyson Daniels every month as well, you idiots? He's only swiped it like 1 million times the last month. Anyway, Pacers, kind of rad. The playoff locks, it's the Houston Rockets. They are very good. That defense is fantastic. They keep dropping stupid games. Apparently Brooklyn, who stink, are their kryptonite. They've just dropped 2 games to crummy Brooklyn. What are you doing, Rockets? It's ridiculous. It's because they didn't have Jock Landale. That's why. He was sick. I don't know. He's probably just had one of those New York City wet dogs. Like, oh, it's a hot dog. No, it's come from a thing that's full of water. That's a wet dog, sir. He's more. The Denver Nuggets are playoff locks. Obviously, they're still fantastic. They've hit like another little gear as Jokic is like, as I want to go home to horses, but I guess in the meantime, play basketball. They are awesome every so often, and they're just like, yes, their ceiling is the roof. The Clippers, they are playoff locks, I think. At the moment, they're getting their heads kicked in by the Lakers, but still. And the Bucks, they've dropped down from the old smashing tin stack and wins tier to the playoff locks, I think. Like, they're still a top 6 team in the East, but they keep dropping stupid games, not playing anybody and getting their heads kicked in. I don't know, it's a bit weird. Figure it out, Bucks. And then the smashing tin stack and wins. Boston could probably actually, after today's effort where they kicked the crap out of the Cavs, they could probably jump up into the still elite thing, because I still believe that the Boston Celtics are elite. They just need to pay attention. Right? That's most of it. They've just won 4 straight. They basically spent a month on cruise control. Win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. Oh, wait. Check their watches. February. We better start winning all these games. The Knicks. I still think they're a top 3 team in the East. Probably because that's where they're ranked. That's where they are. But I also feel like they have a gear to go to where it's like, oh, lockdown defense. I just don't know if they're deep enough. I want to see them make a trade. Do something, Knicks. Do something. I'm poking with a stick. And then the Memphis Grizzlies. They don't even need Ja Morant to kick the crap out of teams. And then they get Ja Morant back, and they keep kicking the crap out of teams. That's how good the Memphis Grizzlies are. I love them. Taylor Jenkins, you're a legend. And there's still Elite Club. It's OKC and Cleveland. Cleveland! Because these 2 teams at the moment are just like looking around going, cool, you got Luka. Cool, you got AD. We're still going to be like the 1 seed. We don't care. The road through the East and West goes through us. So there you go. That's week 16 in the NBA with NBA Australia. Subscribe to the Daily Podcast. I don't want to have to fight you, but I will.